Everyone, in this video we are going to learn about computer animation and a few techniques of the computer animation. Contents covered are introduction, animation techniques, traditional animation, keyframes and procedural animation, behavioral and motion capture, dynamics and morphing. Animation means giving life to the objects and it injects power and emotions for an object which is normally static. And computer assisted animation and computer generated animation are the two types of categories in animation. It can be presented through film or videos also. Animators have invented and used a variety of animation techniques. So in this video we are going to discuss six of that. Traditional animation technique, keyframing, procedural animation technique, behavioral, performance based, physical based, and morphing. Traditional animation techniques, also known as frame by frame. Most of these traditional animation techniques were handwritten, and all these frames need to be animated only by drawing through hand. Since each second of an animation need to be of 24 frames of a film. The amount of effort required for creating a whole movie is very tremendous in this technique. Keyframing technique. In this technique, a storyboard is laid out and the artist will draw only the major portion of an animation. The major frame is one which uh, contains all the major changes in that animation, important shot of that animation. Then they are the key points of the animation also. So the major work of an animator is to specify these scenes of an animation, major scenes or any important object changes that are going to happen in an animation. So the computer then automatically will generate the remaining frame, that is missing frames, by interpolating between those uh, positions. Then procedural animation has the objects are animated by using a procedure, that is a set of rules. The work of an animator here is to specify the rules and then the initial condition, and he has to run the stimulation. So rules are often based on the physical rules of the real world, expressed mainly by using the mathematical equations. The key frames are important frames during which an object changes its size, direction, shape, or other properties also. The computer then figures out all the frames in between and saves in extreme amount of time for an animator. The following illustration depicts the frames drawn by an user and the computer generating the frames. So here in the first frame we have only the circle and the square, and the last frame we have same objects but in a different positions. So in the second frame, that is computer generated frame, we have all the missing objects. So we have is like it shows the procedure how the uh, object is reaching to its final position from that initial position. Then we have a behavioral technique. This uses automatically control the motion of the animated object based on how they react to the environment. So this is basically how an object or a creature in that frame will adjust for that environment. The animation is done based on that. In behavioral animation, an autonomous character determines its action, at least to a certain extent. This gives the character some ability to improvise and frees the animator from the need to specify each detail of every character emotion. So the character can be animated or it can be adapted to that environment automatically when used is behavioral. So the animator work is reduced in these contexts. Performance based, also known as motion capture. So magnetic or vision based sensors record the actions of an human or an animal object in 3 dimensions. So a computer then uses this data to animate the object. So this technology has enabled several famous athletes to supply the action characters in sports or video games. However, there can be a serious discrepancies between the shapes or dimensions of that object or a subject and the graphical character, and this may lead to the problems of an exact executions. Physical based techniques that are dynamics. Unlike keyframing and the motion pictures, the stimulation uses the laws of physics to generate the motion of a picture and other objects. Stimulations can be easily used to produce slightly different sequence while maintaining the physical realism. Secondly, real-time stimulation allow a higher degree of interactivity where the real person can maneuver the actions of the stimulated character. In contrast, the application based on keyframing and motion select and modify motions from a pre-computed library of motions. One drawback that stimulation suffers is that expertise and time required to handicraft the appropriate control systems. Morphing. Morphing is the transformation of objects or shapes from one form to the other form, and it is the most complicated transformations. A morph looks as if the two images are melted into each other with every fluid motion. In technical terms, two images are distorted and a fade occurs between them. There are variety of benefits from the computer animation techniques. So there it is contributing for various fields, and few fields where computer animation can be recognized very well are creative expressions. Animation allows creators to bring their ideas into life through visual storytelling, that they can adapt themselves for that character more easily through computer animation and express all those feelings and emotions perfectly. Then visualization. Animation can simplify and visualize complex or abstract concepts, which can help with comprehension. So animation can help to abstract all those things into a simpler way and tell the content or to tell the conclusion in a better way. Then engineering. Animation is used in incorporating the specific information into a proposed plans, which can be especially helpful in the construction field. Like while constructing, we can also view the detail of that constructing material or the constructing object in a 3D format. So we can view that uh, completed construction before we start it by this computer animation, and we can have an idea how that it is going to end up. Then storytelling. And animation can be used as a teaching method for students in the educational institutes to start with a background and tell a lesson as a story, and is often used in the primary teaching because students can grasp more and they can concentrate more while when they see and when they learn. Healthcare, so it's a main domain where computer graphics are is being increasingly used. So 3D animated models can help the patients to learn procedures and allow all those uh, allow to learn. So the patients also can know about what is happening in that treatment, and they can be confident of that. And in healthcare also computer graphics is mainly used to detection purposes, detecting cancer, kidney stones, brain tumor, skin cancers. In all those diseases, computer animations has proven a very useful tool for the um, detection purposes. Thank you for giving your time to watch this video. Please do like it.